Welcome to the second viewing. Roll up your sleeves, pour yourself a drink, because this is off the cuff. Today's a special episode for you guys.
It sure is.
We're going to be bringing to you a little bit of Autumn's Breeze, which is some locally made content.
Yeah, that's
here
right.
In Saskatoon.
For those who don't know, we are based in the heart of Saskatchewan. Which I don't know if that's accurate. That might be wrong.
We're kind of, I guess, I don't know.
We're going to say heart for now. Heart of Saskatchewan. That is Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. Honestly, it's kind of butt fucking nowhere.
We're almost the capital city.
Yeah, not
We're
quite
very
though.
close.
We're not even actually. And it's a little bit of an obscure place, so to speak. But that being said, we got a lot of great people putting out some cool content throughout the city. And we were asked by a good friend of ours, Gavin Baird, to basically take a look at his web series that he produced with his good friend. And that show, like Dan just said, is called Autumn's Breeze. Now, we've seen this technically twice. But we didn't want to do a second viewing on it in terms of a podcast because it's a 16-minute long.
It's not
short.
A super long web series, so we figured we had make sure we had our facts straight. We would catch it twice.
We'd rather just kind of talk about it loosely in a way, and so let's get into it. This series also, by the way, is available online for free right now on YouTube and Vimeo, and I'll put the links in the description, so if you guys even want to watch it before you listen to what we have to say.
And there's a dedicated website, right? autumnsbreeze.com, I believe.
This is the most sponsored episode we've ever done. Yeah. We're not getting paid to do this, by the way.
We're not.
We're just helping out our boy Gavin. He actually did help us out with some stuff you'll see very soon. So that's coming in the future, so stay tuned for that. So we're just trying to give back as much as we can.
It's the least we can do.
As much as I wish we had a copy of the VHS right here, because I actually helped Gavin make some VHS copies, and they turned out really
commodity.
Nice.
They fucking flew off the shelves.
They went fast, okay, ladies and gents, and there's a reason why, because it's honestly the best way to watch it. And the reason that is because the show is very, I guess you could say campy in a sense. It's kind of like this soap opera feel, and it's also edited and shot, I don't know if it was shot, but it was definitely edited in 4:3. So that was the aspect ratio. So it has like the square. There's no widescreen to you millennials out there, and so it's a series. I want to call it a movie, but it's a series.
I mean, when you put them all together, it comes across as a movie or maybe a short film of sorts.
Right.
But I mean, it's intended to be a web series, and it is separated by parts 1 through 6 or 7.
6 parts. 6. Yeah, and so there are 6 different videos for you to watch on the internet if you want to check them out. And but we watched them in succession at a little local premiere we did at Paved Arts, which you might remember is where we did a previous series of the show. And so there was some cast members, family, friends. It was a nice little small little premiere.
It was a good hurrah. But I think we should get into the movie a little bit, or the web series, sorry. I do want to keep calling this a movie.
Yeah, I know, right? We're going to do it a million times, but that's fine. Let's get into it.
I think maybe the most definitive part about this for me is the style Gavin was going for.
Right, yes.
And that was in the era of David Lynch films. Or
series,
some
I guess.
examples would be Mulholland Drive and Lost Highway or Long Highway.
Long Highway.
Yeah.
Or also there's even things like Eraserhead. It's very this quiet, these sullen and almost airy scenes and long takes and these kind of disruptive
lots of heavy
actions.
Yeah, and heavy symbolism.
And David Lynch, though, I don't know if this symbolism drags over to this, but maybe that's what we could talk about because we were trying to dissect this a little bit. Daniel, you were talking about to me off camera just how although David Lynch is a little nonsensical, just outrageous, absurd things. There's always a kind of
there's a lead in or a point. Yeah,
you can kind of find that if you take a few minutes to kind of rip off the layers like an onion from Shrek, if you will.
Oh, fuck that movie.
But in this series, I think he almost takes Gavin almost takes like a Tim and Eric kind of approach.
Yeah.
Where is that David Lynch kind of look and maybe mythos, but it's a comedy. It's not supposed to be taken seriously.
Yeah, it's not necessarily to represent a point or
which I guess
like that. It's
depending who you talk to, people will say David Lynch is a comedian because some of those movies are fucking.
Yeah, it's true.
But this is intended to be a comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it is funny, actually. There was a couple of times when we were watching it at its premiere at Paved Arts that the whole crowd burst out laughing.
Oh, there's some great scenes.
Good.
There's also a nice little shout out to our boy Brad Wall at the very beginning. It's a Brad Wall film and television production. That's just hilarious. It does have these like. What I love is I don't know if it's at the end of every episode. I'm pretty sure though there's like this huge, long like stutter, like bubbles are blowing, or there's like a scream happening for an extended period of time.
There's a long take that happens towards the end of.
I love that. Honestly, that's probably my favorite part. Or like there's that screeching nail and like it's these things that are kind of I guess annoyances in a way, but really just help you appreciate what you're watching.
And it helps you remember the scene too, and it separates them a little bit. I think my favorite part about this movie was how he was very much able to capture exactly how he told me it was going to be, right? He said it was going to be in the air of a David Lynch movie, he actually used Twin Peaks to describe it.
Yeah, Twin Peaks I think it is the most similar, in my opinion at least. The way I describe this movie, though, or fucking series, whatever you want to call it, guys, is Days of Our Lives meets Twin Peaks meets Moody's Point from The Amanda Show. Now, if anyone remembers that fucking gem, you will agree with me.
You will, without a doubt.
You will, without a doubt. I don't know if you remember each like scene by part, but like, do you have a favorite part out of the series by chance that you would recommend people to not necessarily go to first? Because I'd recommend going in chronological order, but
the Chinese proverb scene is really good. I also really like the restaurant scene.
Okay, so like episodes 3 or 5, I think. Yeah, 3 or 5. That's cool. I think mine is definitely the restaurant scene as well. So that'd be episode 3. That's my favorite one, hands down. I think maybe like other big talking point we can talk about is I think we're both in agreement that we don't quite understand what happens at the end.
I don't get it.
We don't get it, which I don't know if
I don't think we're supposed to. Yeah, I'm not sure. I liked it. I thought it was very good.
I will say, like, I brought this up to Gavin and I was like, honestly, man, I thought it was great. There's a lot of cool things I liked about it, but I don't really think I understand it fully. And he started telling me, he was like, well, do you understand that he's... And I was like, hey, whoa. Like, I cut him off. I was like, never mind. I'm going to try and figure it out. Me and Dan will try and figure it out. And we haven't done it yet. So I don't know. Like,
are we trying to figure out that...
I will say that the main character is Ed, played by Gavin Baird, the creator of the series.
Yeah.
And we also have Trillian Reynolds, who plays the character Autumn. They're kind of the main characters, I guess.
Right, and I think we should mention the other guy who helped co-create this series. I think it's Ryan Green.
Ryan Green, yeah. My apologies. I just called him a coworker at the beginning there, but yeah, it is Ryan Green. And so they were kind of the masterminds behind this production. Gavin is kind of forced into the film since he is the main character, playing Ed in the short film. I will finally say it correctly.
But and trying to dissect Gavin's character. Ed, I would say, I kind of want to say that he's a captor. He's captured Autumn in some way. I don't know.
You think that's your conspiracy theory? He's
I don't know.
Holding your captive. Well, the tagline for this short is a little mystery, a little romance, and a cool breeze. So essentially, we have Gavin's character trying to find Autumn. And that is like the murder mystery, or just mystery.
Right, and she leaves after a disturbing phone call.
Yeah, the whole thing is like, I guess every single part you don't really know. You're always left wondering something. Mm-hmm. I would say there's definitely more questions than answers in this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. And I don't know, it's fun to kind of have maybe you guys checking this out. In the description, you can give us some feedback. Email us at thesecondviewing@gmail.com or leave a comment, because it is a fun one to just take a look at. It's like 16 minutes. It's not terribly long. It's shorter than an episode of The Ranch. And that takes me to at least 3 months to get through one episode. So, and we just crushed Watch Armsbury's again here, and I don't know. I'm still left wondering things, but I will say that, like you were talking about earlier, like I was just pleasantly. It's overall really pleased with the aesthetic and the look and the feel. And I gotta say, like, I know Gavin, like, in real life personally, you have a really good performance in terms of acting.
Yeah, he surprisingly good. Like, totally didn't expect that coming from
I don't mean that in a negative sense. It's just like, yeah, it was pretty good.
I just didn't. Yeah, I mean,
solid effort.
Absolutely.
It is a bit of like a one trick, like, pony kind of like looking dialect, but fuck, it works. It's good, man.
So yeah, and I think I totally agree with you. I was pleasantly surprised with the theme and the overall feel of the web series. I don't think there'd be much more that I would change about it other than I'm confused about the end, and maybe that's me or maybe that's the way it's intended to be viewed. Either way, I laughed. I think I got most of what was intended out of the short.
Do you think we're reading too much into it? Maybe.
I think maybe we are. I think maybe we're not supposed to know.
Yeah, like or even
much
like
more?
or even that there is an answer there, but it's simpler than we think.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I want to understand the three keys. Was there 3 cases inside the briefcase?
Well, there was one briefcase, a smaller case, and then a piece of paper with a lock on it, which I think is just a gag.
Right.
I think it's just a gag. I saw that and I laughed the first time. I was like, all right. I don't know, but
I'm not sure. Either way, I like it.
We want to hear your guys' opinion. More or less, I guess, like, it's just obviously an easy recommendation. We think it's a fun, entertaining local short film, and we see these coming out of Saskatoon, but not very often. And it's nice to not even see someone we know creating something, but creating something of merit, something that's actually has a focus and achieves that focus. And sure, maybe we sound like fucking corporate shills, just like jacking off for this guy right now, but we mean it. I think we've always been honest to you guys on the show. We've never tried to sugarcoat anything. So that's just where I kind of stand on that personally.
And I got to say that if you're looking to get into film or you're wondering how you can better capture a style, I mean, watch Gavin and Ryan Green do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, these are guys that just got out of film school. It's one of the first things they've created since, and it just started on a whim. The opening scene to this short film, Gavin just shot one day, just messing around with his camera, and then he said it looked kind of like a fake soap opera intro, and then that intro turned into a fake trailer, and then the fake trailer turned into a real miniseries,
which is great. It's super cool, and
that's funny how these things work. Fuck it. I guess maybe we'll leave it there. We'll plug this thing one more time. Check out autumnsbreeze.com. I'll put it in the show notes as usual, or of course check it out on YouTube and Vimeo. You can watch you'll get sent there anyways from the website basically. And yeah, if you want to hear more from us, check out our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's at The Second Viewing and at The Second View on Twitter. Sadly, it's confusing. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube as well as SoundCloud. You can check out our RSS feed there if you'd like to. Anyways, that's us for today's episode of Off the Cuff. I'm Kyle.
I'm Dan.
Catch you later.